Dr. Pepper Schwartz is a well-known sex expert and author of over 15 books.
From NBC News,
Pepper Schwartz is a relationship expert.
Summoned from around the world, we've assembled a team of top experts in the field of love.
Pepper Schwartz is a relationship expert.
Pepper Schwartz is a sociologist and author of Crime Adventures.
We're joined by Pepper Schwartz this morning. You came up with a compatibility test. How did this test work?
Well, I developed it for perfectmatch.com for relationships, and then we modified it for teamwork of any kind. So all of the people on the show took the test, and then I predict from how well they do on the test how they're going to do as a couple of dancing. But I did it without watching them dance.
Without watching them dance.
What do you see in this combination?
Well, actually, all three of you are very compatible, but in the combination, on the similarity, your 3 out of 4 things are exactly the same. You like a little more variety in your life. You like a little more predictability.
Yes, ma'am. I own it.
And you are more of a perfectionist. I mean, you have very strong opinions about things, and you are more flexible. And you are an introvert, and she is an extrovert. So this is a great pair because you also are both good, calm temperaments and very collaborative temperaments.
I could have told you that without the test.
Well, I needed to. Yeah, but you know him better than I do. So we use this thing online, and the same test you have is available online for people to take a look at.
So it means the two of us could go on and do that tango last night, and they wouldn't be bored.
You can lead this time. You can lead this time.
See how flexible she is?
Thanks, Pepper. Great to see you.
Today, an all-new Oprah, open marriages, friends with benefits, erotica, next.
My first guest is the author of a pretty steamy new book, and according to her, it is not fiction. Dr. Pepper Schwartz is a well-known sex expert and author. Come on up here, Dr. Pepper.
Thank you.
Oh, my gosh. Two. So I've been interviewing you for a long time.
Yeah.
Over the years.
Yes.
Yes. Well, her latest book is called Prime, Adventures and Advice on Sex, Love, and the Sensual Years. These are the sensual years?
Yes.
I think all the 20-somethings think they're having the sensual years.
Well, I define the sensual years as any years I'm in.
Okay. Okay.
But they're pretty good now, and I wanted women to know that.
Yeah. And why did you decide to open up and be so, vulnerable?
Well, 2 reasons. One is I had too many friends who were packing it up and putting it away.
Yeah.
Wonderful, smart, beautiful, women with a lot to give, who were saying, no, I'm done with it. I'm done with the pain. I'm done with the vulnerability. I'm done with the whole thing about sex. And I thought, no, I want to inspire women.
Now, in the book, you say you began having the best sex of your life after 55. Why?
Well, I was divorced.
Yeah. And you were married for 23 years, right?
I was, and actually we had a good sex life, so I don't want to make anybody think we didn't. We did.
Okay.
But, I had to re-enter. I had to kind of get over the doldrums of a long, marriage that's kind of going downhill after a while. And, and so I decided I was not going to say no to anything, at least without considering maybe.
Really?
Yes. That I thought, well, hey, I'm in my 50s and going into my 60s. This is not the time to be timid. This is the time to be adventurous.
When you've been married for 23 years, and then all of a sudden you're out into the dating world, and you've got to then say, excuse me, do you have a condom?
Well, what I learned is, excuse me, I have a condom.
Excuse me, yeah.
And mostly everybody's okay with it. There are some men who say, no, I can't get an erection with a condom, and, you have to back off and say, well, let's see what else we can do then, But
Isn't that awkward?
It's awkward. It's extremely awkward.
Yeah.
But if you can get by that, you can get to the passionate part.
How do you get back to the passionate part after you've had the whole condom thing that didn't work?
What I would say is that, first of all, you're sort of passionate already. You want each other a lot.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, then you say, no problem. I've got some other things like oral sex, etc., which are going to be just great. We can do that. We don't have to have intercourse. I think one of the things about getting into your 50s and 60s and beyond is that, foreplay can be the main event. It doesn't have to be all about intercourse. There's no reason that gives you any better orgasm than other things do. And you don't, in fact, a lot of men are relieved because when you meet men in their 50s and 60s and 70s, their ability to have an erection in all the ways it's described in you know, romance novels and the way 20-year-olds experience it is not so good. They're worried about performance. Just take that off the table. We're going to make each other feel good. We're going to have fun here, and it doesn't have to be about some kind of measurement about, you know, erection lasting forever. Yeah, so, I mean, it's harder to jumpstart anything. So, yeah, you want to keep it going.
Pepper Schwartz is a sociologist and author of Crime Adventures. Pepper, good morning to you. Now, this book is extremely personal. How did you feel about kind of putting all of your personal business into a book?
Well, it was hard, I mean, to make a decision. Once I made the decision, you know, you go ahead. But I felt, as an educator, I teach at the University of Washington, that sometimes the best education is personal. Your life, the ups, the downs, the heartbreaks, the triumphs, and then give some lessons from it.
So was it tough? I mean, how did you start off getting back into the dating world after 23 years of being married? What's the first thing you did?
Well, I tried to lose weight. That's the first thing I did. But the second thing was just to get my mind in shape, to say, okay, I really want to find somebody. You have to say what your goals are if you're going to get there.
Right.
Then I went online. I was actually already a relationship expert at perfectmatch.com, but I had never done it myself. So
what
I
was
had
that
to
like
go
going online?
Well, you know, you have to kind of prepare your ego. Not everybody's going to want you. Not everybody's going to meet you and say, oh, you're great. They're going to say, nothing. They're going to be gone.
I love this. The woman in the piece was saying that sex is better after 50. Is it better after 50?
Better for me. And it was always really good. So, you know, the question is, are you more relaxed? Can you ask for what you want? Are you going to take a little bit more time at it? It can be great and more fulfilling and just more fun.
Pepper, we'll start with you. Help us out quickly to define what is type A, what is type B in terms of personalities.
Your video was perfect. Ambitious, hard driving, multitasker, must win. Other part, laid back, looking for calm, slower. Let's smell the roses.
David, let's use some celebrity examples that you gave to us really quickly. Okay, we'll begin with the type AB, and that's who?
Yeah, well, that would be somebody like Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes, and this is just like their public personas. And basically, you know, a type AB can work really well. It can work. The problem being on that side, what if she never sees him? The type B, remember, wants like home, family. She wants the guy, so she's the support staff, but he better let her see her enough so that she has a relationship.
Then, Pepper, how about two type A's? When you have two type A's, how do you make that work in a true power couple?
Well, they admire each other. Hey, you take the flank, I take the front. Together we, you know, win the battle. I mean, it's great. The downside of two type A's is competition. Everybody has to be first.
Let's flip it. When we have a B woman, a B man, and an A woman, when does that work? How does that work?
Well, that's pretty new because it used to be, you know, a man would rather die than be a B to an A. But a lot of men really do want the domestic life. They do want it slower. They're happy to be, you know, the one that supports the woman who makes it big. So it's a question of what you want. It can work great.
With Angelina Jolie, I think the man would take any seat that was on the car. Let's go two B's as we wrap it up. Two B's. The example we use is Eva Longoria and Tony Parker from the San Antonio Spurs. How does that work?
Well, and there is that issue where things have to be done. Somebody has to go out there and win or work or whatever. And no, you be the A. No, you be the A. I mean, somebody has to be a little more A-ish every now and then.
Pepper Schwartz, David Zazeko, thanks to both of you.
Thanks, Peter.